Autobots, it's time for another episode of Transformers.
Why would you say that to the Autobots?
To get them ready, just so that they're
Why would
taking
he
place.
say to the Autobots? Why would he say to the Autobots that is another episode of Transformers? He's in Transformers. He'd say that to the audience.
Well, no, because here's what I'm implying: that before the cameras were rolling, they're all getting drunk off Energon, because we saw the Decepticons do it, and so it's like, Autobots, make yourself presentable to the children, which is exactly why.
Autobots are too.
Wait, what?
The Autobots are too nice.
It depends on the continuity sometimes, but there's also the fact that in the movie, force different perspective for no adequately explained reason. I think this is around here where my mode controller starts. Well, I accidentally clicked mode on the controller, so now it stops working, and nothing goes right for me until I realize that it's the mode doing it. But yeah, while I try and figure things out here, that reminds me of just like how somebody said, man, these guys just in the cartoon, they were just having fun. They were playing around. But as soon as the movie came around, they realized that their guns had a kill setting instead of a stun or lightly injure setting. And so that's why immediately as the movie starts, 3 Autobots die. Well, 3 or 4 Autobots die to an invasion by the Decepticons.
So things get hardcore.
It's really hardcore. And I'm imagining the Transformers movie is like one of the things I wish I could have experienced. Well, it was impossible because, age and everything. But one of the things I could have experienced when it came out. Second is a SpongeBob movie. Man, just seeing that Goofy Goober scene for like the first time in theaters is like, it's so great. But back on topic. The thing is that I'm just wondering, because, what was it? Prowl, Brawn, maybe Ironhide and Ratchet? I think those were the 4 that died. But I just imagine just like Transformers movie, and these kids are there, and one little kid is just like, oh man, I hope Ironhide gets to kick some butt, Dad. And literally within the first 3 seconds, he dies.
It's like when Batman v Superman killed Jimmy Olsen, by making him get shot in the head. And it's like,
wait, that happened?
Yes, a reporter.
Why?
Because
Jimmy's Jimmy's like, I won't say a big part of this, but he has, everyone loves Jimmy to an extent.
Yeah,
why? That doesn't seem like a good. What's the purpose of even doing that?
Nothing. There is no purpose other than, wow, the world is so depressing. Here's that beloved Jimmy Olsen. He got his brains blown out. Stupid. Also, I did watch Transformers movie in theaters.
What?
I watched the first Transformers in theaters.
Not that. I wasn't talking about that, obviously.
Oh, you're talking about why this...
I was talking about the first movie, not the this is sort of okay, but still not what we wanted movie.
Oh, you're not talking about the Michael Bay movie.
No, I was talking about the actual, first Transformers movie. That's why I said the Decepticons suddenly realized they had a kill setting and killed 4 Autobots within the first 3 minutes.
A bunch of Autobots dying in the first 3 minutes sounds like a Michael Bay movie.
I know, now that you say that, sure, but still, just, that's why I say, that was the kids' version. That was the version everyone expected to be camp and everything. But then you see a shot go through Prowl and his eyes turn off while the fire from his internal systems goes throughout his head, and it's just like, what's happening here? And the amount of crying when Optimus Prime dies, I can't even fathom it. It sounds sick to say that I'd want to see it, but it just sounds like such a weird phenomenon.
I mean, it doesn't, because I would have loved to be in a theater, see the end of Infinity War.
Well, that's for adults and also people rationalizing, yeah, they'll come back as well. I didn't realize, and then usually shocked stuff as it continues till the end. But my thing is just like, these are primarily little kids here. Just watching this. This was for little kids, and this happens. Just imagine like the parents' reactions to this. It's like, he's been wanting to watch these Transformers things for so long. Oh man, just like, okay, well I guess we'll take him to the movie. Within the first 1 minute, it's like, oh god, it's literally only been a minute.
All the parents will perk up and be like, now this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, the actual... By the way, that changed from red to purple and they expect us to not notice. Speaking of things that would rather not be noticed, well, by Megatron, honestly, it's Starscream!
I thought you'd say, it's, oh, saved the city looks.
I'm sure we'll fix it up later. That's what... Oh wait, the Constructicons are evil. Never mind. We'll do it the slow way with Hop and Hoist. No, not with Hoist and Grapple, who are like the only construction-based ones that are on the good side, I think, at this point in time. But yeah, Starscream. Everybody loves Starscream. It's but the thing is that everybody also does not. Just like in universe, nobody respects Starscream. Like maybe Thrust respects Starscream a bit, but just like
Give me the Luigi.
Well, the thing is that Luigi has potential. Wow, nice job, Starscream. Couldn't even last like a minute.
Especially since both Luigi and Starscream are evil.
Oh, you're gonna bring that up. But just like Luigi has potential, Starscream repeatedly shows himself to be a complete imbecile when left to his own devices. Well, not really. There's some variation on that. Basically, Starscream, it's almost like in every continuity practically. Starscream is way more of a threat when left alone. When he's been kicked out of the Decepticons and such, just like he somehow manages to do more damage to both sides. When he's left to his own devices, because in the original, he's the one who revives some imprisoned Decepticons who got their chips taken out because they were too brutal, and revived them as the Combaticons, who created Bruticus the Combiner, and he was actually winning. But Bruticus was something that threatened both sides and everything. And only until just like things got so dire and Bruticus like rebelled, that Starscream was the only one who knew how to turn him off. So he basically said, okay, let me back in, and then I'll tell you how to turn him off. Or something like that. Or Megatron threatened him to do that. That sounds more plausible, honestly. And then they let him back in for no reason. Which also sounds more plausible.
I mean, it's a Transformers cartoon.
Well, no, because the thing is that it was so incredibly ridiculous how much Starscream got away with, that every subsequent show kept the treachery, but basically executed in different ways. In Transformers Animated, Starscream actually manages to destroy Megatron like way early in the series, and becomes the leader of the Decepticons for a while until Megatron is rebuilt. And then he tries a little bit of treachery and then immediately gets booted out and repeatedly gets like booted out, because Starscream in that continuity is kind of immortal. It's complicated. But yeah, he keeps trying to kill Megatron. Megatron throws his death machines at him, and then he goes offline for like a few minutes, and they keep throwing him in the river, and then he reboots. But sometimes he especially after he creates his clones. Sometimes they're like on the Decepticon side, basically. Sometimes they put them in, sometimes not. Depends. Basically, Megatron's like, okay, you're semi-useful. I'm gonna keep you somewhat close, but I can literally destroy you in a second, and I will do so, and it will be fun. But I know you'll always come back because you're immortal for some reason.
Transformers
But
animated lore sounds complicated.
it's not. The reason Starscream's immortal is that he has a piece of what's called the Allspark, which is basically like the life well of the Transformers. Huh?
You're saying what's called the Allspark? I've seen the first Transformers movie.
Oh, you know. Oh, right. The Allspark was in. Okay, never mind. So yeah, he basically had a piece of the Allspark embedded in his forehead, so it would revive him every time he died.
So, but so what if they destroy his head?
I think the head itself will keep intact. The only way Starscream died is when it was sucked out due to the Allspark reforming itself at the end of the third season.
So what if he puts his? You're saying he makes clones of himself. This is some.
Yeah, he makes clones of himself and breaks the Allspark piece into slightly smaller pieces and gives them to his clones. But because those pieces are small, they give them life but not immortality, I think.
Okay. Okay. I am going to just say okay in a way that implies that I understand.
Yeah, I expect that from you.